And somebody else in the Midwest there, Samantha, it sounds like we have our next guest is Chris Oladokan with us, the South Dakota State signal caller. Boom. There he is.
How's it
joining
going,
us
guys?
here on the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl Watchlist show. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Thanks
How you guys
taking
doing?
The time. We're doing good, man. I appreciate it. I'll get it. I'll set the tone right now because, you know, it's not too often Dan Vandernat holds out on me. And so I remember our first scouting call of the season, and we get done, and, you know, Dane's like, you know, I got a quarterback, you know, maybe next call I'll tell you who it is. And I'm saying, man, wow, it's like that, Dane? And so, you know, the second call, he kind of let the cat out of the bag, said, hey, we're going to invite Chris Oladokan. And, you know, I'll tell you, man, I've been watching and studying up and checking out the FCS playoffs. Samantha, I'm getting a little feedback there on the background, but just take us through what this season has been like for you and, you know, having an incredible year and then getting the news that you were invited to the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl. Just take us through what that experience was like for you.
Well, it's honestly flew by. You know, I committed to come here in June, and I think 4 days later I was on a plane heading from Tampa, Florida, all the way up to Brookings, South Dakota, where, you know, I obviously knew nobody, didn't really know much about South Dakota at all. And then, you know, really just got straight to work with, you know, my new teammates. And ever since I started working with them, it's really just been, it's been great. You know, it's been everything I could have asked for when I came here. And I came here to win and came here to, you know, to give us another shot to get to that national title game. And, you know, obviously we're heading to the third round this week, and, you know, just really proud of our team and proud of our guys, you know, for how hard we worked and how much adversity we've overcame, whether it be injuries or whatever the case may be. So definitely looking forward to the next couple weeks with my guys still.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll get into this FCS championship run that will be dialed in and tuned into, but take me through that process. Why South Dakota State? What made you go there? What was the allure?
So originally I was actually committed to FAMU, and I was gonna go there, sort of get close back to home. And I was just sort of working out one day back home with my quarterback coaches, and they were like, "Hey, someone's going to give you a call today, and I think you should take it." And I was like, "Well, well, who is it?" And he's like, "South Dakota State." And I started thinking, I'm like, I just saw them playing a national championship like 2 weeks ago. Like, you know, it was sort of like a full circle moment. So obviously, I'm going to answer the phone when a South Dakota number calls me, and it ended up being my quarterback coach, Coach Lujan, and we just had really good talk. And you know, I sort of went back and did my own research on them, and I was like, man, well, this is my last year, obviously, as a grad student, and what better way to go out than, you know, play for a team that can contend for a national championship. So that was, you know, the most important thing to me in this process.
Now, great decision. We're talking to Chris Oladokan, the South Dakota State quarterback, and one of the best kept secrets in the 2022 NFL draft day. And I know this is one of your personal favorites. You were excited to get him on board with the NFLPA Bowl. So go ahead, have at it, my man.
No, I mean, hey, obviously, Chris, you know, great to see you on here, man. Great to chop it up a little bit. You know, I know we got Jack Cochran coming on here in a little bit from the in-state rival, so I'm definitely going to pick your brain about Jack and try and embarrass him a little bit before we get him on. But, you know, obviously, just elaborate a little bit more. Obviously, you started at USF right in your backyard as a Tampa guy. Then he transferred to Samford, and now obviously up to South Dakota State. Just kind of walk everyone through, you know, kind of your thought process and why the journey that you did take.
Well, I think most importantly, you know, I think it's important to note that everyone's journey is different. You know, some guys, you know, go to the school they went to out of high school, and, you know, just works out for them there. You know, for me, went to USF, started out there. You know, it was a dream of mine to play in my own backyard. Coach Taggart leaves, you know, right after my first semester there, and that was sort of rough. It was actually like I had like a story or a memory pop up on my Snapchat the other day of me and my roommate like fake crying when he left, just like being freshmen, and so that sort of went through that process. Coach Strong and his staff came in. I loved that staff too. You know, I feel like I've had a good relationship with every staff I've had. But, you know, sometimes, you know, things just don't go your way, don't work out. Went to Samford. That place holds a special place in my heart as well. You know, made a lot of really good friends there. And I went there, you know, from the aspect, you know, they threw the ball around, and that's what I wanted to showcase. You know, I think for me, I started to notice more and more when I got into college, that stigma sort of against, minority quarterbacks, as just being athletic guys that, are sort of more runners. So I sort of had a chip on my shoulder. I've always had a chip on my shoulder, since high school, because I thought I should have been, more highly touted, recruited, or whatever the case may be. So I sort of took that chip, went there, bet on myself to prove I could throw the ball. And then coming here, really was just like, well, now let me prove to everyone, I can put this all together. I can manage a game. I can lead a team. Only being there for 5-6 months, and not only play well, in the pocket, but also extend plays with my legs and just make everyone around me better as well.
I think I'm glad you kind of hit that point, Chris, because obviously it's something that I mentioned yesterday in a tweet that is really what impressed me so much about you. Obviously, you're a gifted athlete. You have gifted, physical and, strength when you sit there and you look at your arm talent and everything. But to me, it was your ability to extend plays, not just with your legs and running it, but extend plays and still being able to find receivers downfield. I mean, to me, when Rick's sitting there talking about the guy that, I didn't want to spill the beans on just yet, it was kind of really those qualities that jumped out at me of, okay, hey, shoot, I think we got a guy over here. But, those traits are going to be so important, obviously, as you transition to the next level. But I want to ask you, obviously, being a starting quarterback for any program really carries a leadership role. You just got up there in June at South Dakota State. I'm assuming you didn't know very many, if any, of the teammates and coaches that you were about to obviously be paired with. How did you earn the trust of the team, and what was really important for you to convey to everyone as you look to lead a team of men?
Well, I think the most important thing was me getting here the first day of workouts. Like I said, I committed in June, and so I'm like, all right, coach, when do you guys need me up there? And they're like, well, we start workouts in 3 days. So I packed up all my stuff, and I'm like, well, I got to be there for the first day, and just really going in and making sure I put my head down and I worked. More work than talking for me, I think, was the most important thing, because if those guys can see what I'm doing on a consistent basis, being there early in the weight room, being in the training room, making sure I'm taking care of my body, and also being that vocal leader too, pushing guys to finish through the line, just making sure we do all those little minute details right. I think that paid dividends, and that just springboarded right into fall camp. Working with guys, all off season. Anytime I got the chance to throw with a receiver, whether it was our starting tight end, our fourth tight end, backup receiver, running backs, I took that opportunity. I just had to sort of seize the moment. And once you gain the trust of those guys and they believe that, you're going to be the guy to take them anywhere, they'll follow you. And I'm just blessed to, play with a bunch of guys that, sort of followed my lead and on this journey.
Well, obviously, to your point, you kind of earned that. And, Rick, not to steal the thunder here, but like I said, we got Jack Cochran coming up next year. Chris, give us a scouting report on what you guys thought. Obviously, Jack plays for your in-state rival there. As you studied and kind of prepared to face, the Coyotes, last month, give us a quick report on Jack, what you guys appreciated about his game.
He's definitely a guy we highlighted. Every single time he popped on the tape, number 33 came up. I think he has a really high motor, really physical, really smart player. So I knew every single time coming up to the line, I sort of had to locate and know where he was, just because he's so efficient, not only in his pass rush and stopping the run, but also dropping out as a pass defender. So I thought he was a really good player. I even thought he was better in person than what the film showed, and I thought he was good on film. So he was definitely someone we highlighted, and unfortunately that game didn't end our way. So he probably has a little bragging rights right now, but I'm just glad we're still playing.
No doubt. And we're going to get Jack on in just a second. But, Chris, one last one for me. For the NFL scouts at home, obviously, they're going to get to sit down with you in Pasadena, get to know you a little bit more. And we talked a lot about life between the stripes. But take us outside the lines. What is Chris Oladokan doing in his spare time? What do you like to do? Any hobbies, activities? Tell us a little bit about yourself off the field.
Well, I used to be a huge video game guy. I used to think I was one of the greatest Madden players ever. I still think I am. Our running back Pierre Strong the other day challenged me to play him in Madden.
We can put that to the test now.
And I haven't played all semester, and I still won. He says I'm cheating because I'm a quarterback and I know the reads, but I play video games, really just hang around with my boys. Whether it's just watching games and we like to watch highlights a little bit of. We'll watch like Tavon Austin highlights from like back in the day and stuff like that. And then I'm a huge shopper too. I love to shop probably more than I need to. So I love clothes and shoes like that. So that's really how I spend most of my spare time.
Okay, and since you brought up Pierre Strong, your teammate there in the backfield, I just love gathering information and getting to know players. Just tell us something about Pierre and what NFL teams are going to like about his skill set.
And he's dynamic with the ball. Every time he touches the ball, it could be a home run. And I think even what scouts are going to learn the most about Pierre is he's a leader. He's been a captain on our team now for 3 years, and he's a great leader for our team. And honestly, he's been here for so long, started for so long. He's probably the heartbeat of our team. So, I think he's a great guy. Also my roommate. So, I sort of got thrown into the roommate role with him without even knowing him. But he's become one of my greatest friends here. So he's definitely I think he should be even higher on a lot of guys' boards.
No doubt. And I apologize. I've been blind to the chat room. We got some questions coming in. One more. We're going overtime with Chris Oladokan. Villanova's defense this weekend. I'm also curious to hear. I know you can't give us too many secrets, but highlight. This is a big time matchup. A lot of people think Villanova could run the table here. What do you got cooking for this Saturday?
We just got to play harder than the guy across from us, and we got to execute. Villanova's a really good team, have a really good defense, and a lot of good individual players. So it's definitely not going to be a team that we just run over. Obviously, they're number 5 seed for a reason, and we aren't seeded. So just like I'm sure they have a chip on their shoulder, we also have a chip on ours. And I'm just ready for Saturday to come, and can't wait for us to execute at a high level.
Well, I know we'll be tuned in, as will the NFL scouts. We look forward to seeing it, and hopefully you're bringing that chip over to Pasadena with you when we see you out in Cali, Chris.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Chris. Take care now. Appreciate the time. That's Chris Oladokan, the South Dakota State signal caller here on the 2022 NFLPA Collegiate Bowl Show, along with Dane Vandernat, Rick Saratella here. I apologize to all my